Real JP Multimedia, proud sponsor of the Nerdball podcast. Here to help you with all things audio, video, graphics, photo, web design. From weddings to real estate, commercial business to private use, we offer a big variety of services for almost any budget. And if we can't do it, we will find someone who can. Find us at realjp.com. That's REELJP.com. Real JP Multimedia.
I'm Mark Moll, and this is the Nerdball podcast.
This is the Nerdball podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Perfect. All right, Mark, thanks for coming on my podcast.
Yeah, you bet.
Super short notice.
Right?
You just happened to text me yesterday saying, hey, or a couple days ago saying, hey, I finally was able to listen to a podcast, this one and our dad's podcast. And I'm like, well, actually, I need a guest.
Right?
Yeah, so it worked out good, man.
Yeah.
So the first question I ask, I always ask because I forget a lot, is what is something that you're nerding out about? Like something you're super into right now, books, movies, TV shows, some hobby you have, something that doesn't involve like your job.
Oh, right.
Like just something you can get away, even if it's something that you do as a family. But what's something like you're really into?
You know, I've been thinking about this, and it's pretty much gadgets. Like gadgets and technology, like that's it for me. Like I get super geeked. Like so for Thanksgiving, I always smoke a turkey. Yeah, and like I have it's the pellet smoker, and like you can just
what kind do you have?
It's a Camp Chef.
Okay,
and it's just pellets.
Yeah,
but like the dial on it tells you like the temperature, and like you can do like a probe or whatever. But then I have to like physically get up and go look at it all the time.
Me too. I got a smoker too.
So I got one of those. I got the meat stick where you like it's like the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I got one of those. A meter is one I have.
Yeah, and it's so much better because I can just like sit on the couch and just be like, nope, not done yet. I don't have to get up. You know what I mean?
Does it give you like? Can you set alarms like, hey, you're supposed to take it off now or whatever?
Yeah, like it was the first time I used it, so like I didn't really know.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah,
but just having it so that like I could not have to get up and go look, like as petty as that sounds.
No, the life is. I mean, that is gadgets. It makes our lives a lot easier, right?
Yeah, and like the smart home stuff, like lights and everything. I just have it all programmed.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's mostly to like help my like family's deficiencies. Where like can you just turn off the backlight?
Oh, 100%. I think that's just a dad
thing.
My like, God. Why are lights on everywhere in this house?
Yeah. Oh, it was bad. Like when my wife when we got together, she would leave like every single light on. Yeah. Like you wake up in the morning, turn on the bedroom light, then turn on the nightstand light, then turn on the bedroom light, then turn on the bathroom light, then turn on the hallway trail of lights. Yeah. And it's like, no, you just turn them off. But now we're on the other side of that, the complete opposite. Yeah. Where like she comes in the bathroom, grabs something while I'm in the shower, and then click, and I'm like, hey, I'm still in here. I'm like, can you please turn that back on?
That's funny.
Like, so we got to get the pendulum. They like come back. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Awesome.
I guess you got to have it. You got to find. Yeah, you got to find the.
Yeah.
I guess you better have that.
Right.
Because at least you're there to say like, hey, I'm in here.
Yeah. Exactly.
When you smoked turkey, I've never smoked a turkey. Or actually, you know what? I did smoke one turkey. It was a practice turkey because I didn't want to do it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I practiced it. I was going to do it for my in-laws. And then my father-in-law is like pretty like, this is how we do it. This is how we've always done it. So they didn't want one. Because there wasn't like drippings for gravy. So, right? Yep. So like, well, we got to have the drippings for gravy. Okay, whatever. So I did it one time. But do you just put it in there or I spatchcocked mine? So I don't.
No.
Oh, that is I've done it with chicken. That is like I don't know if you've ever done it with any poultry.
No.
It's so good. You just cut the backbone out of it, right? And you push down on the breast and you break the breastbone. Yeah. Everything's flat.
Nice.
So everything cooks the same, and it makes. I've never had like eating turkey like it was so moist. It was so good.
Yeah. What I found is it's a turkey cannon. So like like beer butt chicken.
Yeah.
But it's like for a turkey.
Okay.
Like so you can fill it up with like white wine and lemons. But I did like bourbon and lemons.
Yeah.
And then like just smokes it like that.
Yeah.
It turns out fantastic.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
That's another thing that I know about you is you like bourbon. Right.
Yep.
So is there like when people like I know when people cook with wine, there's like $3 bottles of wine, right? You
Yeah.
can do that. Is there like that with bourbon? Like
yeah, like you can get like a $20 bottle or whatever.
Is that the kind you use for that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
or
that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure like if there was like, hey, this is a one-time deal. This is not that you're going to use like
right.
a $500 bottle of bourbon, but
yeah.
like something more expensive.
Yeah. I like look through my inventory. Nope. It's like go get like I think I got Maker's Mark or something like that, which is good. It's still good. It's a really good bourbon, but it's a lot cheaper by the ounce.
Oh sure, yeah. When you're eating it,
yeah.
I used to get when the Futon was here in Perrysburg. The Pop Off vodka. It was like 20 proof or whatever. I remember we had. I think there was a couple friends of ours that would always steal it, like because you just go out there and get off the shelf. Who's gonna like lock up 20 proof vodka?
Yeah, they're like,
right?
Whatever, take it. Like, if you're gonna take anything, just take it.
Yeah, take that stuff. So I have some like gadget stuff. Like we have a thermostat that I can use my phone, right, and that kind of stuff. But I don't do like we have so many random stuff. Like I got a free Echo one time for something, and a free Google Home. Like I have all these different things. I'm like I have Ring cameras. Like none of them like sync up with each other.
Oh yeah.
I just like keep getting all these things like either good deals or free if you sign up for this or that or whatever. Do you have like this? We're a blank home. Like we have all these things that tie into each other, or you just have like different random things.
I tried not to. So like when I got like my first plug. I was like, okay, it's a TP Link. That works really well. Mm-hmm. Okay, the rest of them will be that.
Yeah.
Like because trying to mix all that stuff, oh man, it's chaos. Like you got like 5 apps to run like 5 different outlets. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But like we use Alexa a lot. Like that kind of controls a lot of that stuff. So I got routines for like front door and the like Christmas lights, like turning those on and off. And that's a whole thing. So it's all programmed. Like the backlights like turned off. Like as soon as you turn it on, every time, 10 minutes later, it will turn off.
Oh, really?
No matter what.
Wow.
Yeah. So because everybody keeps leaving it on.
Sure.
So I wasn't trying to be like a bad neighbor and just like leave the light on all night because we've done that.
Oh, yeah.
So like just turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We don't have a lot of that like programmed stuff. We have a lot of like motion sensor stuff. So when you first walked in, we had a light right above the door and then another one above the garage. And then we have one. I needed something because I get up earlier than everybody, and I didn't want to turn the lights on coming down the stairs. So we needed something as opposed to just my phone, like trying to guide my way down without turning lights on. So I found these like LED lights, and we put them on the underside of our handrail. So when I walk by, it lights up the stairs, so I can go down. But that is about as gadgety as we get.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
I just do my best to turn lights off or yell at the kids to go back upstairs. Right?
I mean, that works too sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just how much am I willing to tolerate the eye rolls or the
right.
Right. Like, all right, just go do it.
Just do it, please.
What other like do you feel like when you see a new thing like you have to get it or are you one? I know when we get an Xbox or when we bought an Xbox, like I'm gonna wait a little bit because there's gonna be some bugs, and I want to like avoid as many as I can. Like, how are you when new stuff comes?
Oh yeah, I'm always very cautious about that.
Yeah.
Like any like especially software stuff, I'm like, oh no, somebody else can make those mistakes. I am not making those mistakes. No, but like it's generally because I'm also cheap on those. Like where I want the good stuff, but I don't want to pay for the good stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, look, this Amazon deal. Look, it's 50% off.
Yeah.
Can I get it? Like asking my wife. Like,
I was going to say, are you asking yourself? Or
no. Well, it's a little bit of both. Like,
Okay.
it's more of a should I get it? Well, is this the right one? Is this the best one? I don't know. Let me Google that first. Is this the best? I do that all the time.
I had a friend who would, and this sticks with me. So my dad researches stuff now because he's retired and he has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But I had a friend, he was older than me. I was probably 20-ish, and he was probably, I don't know, close to 40, maybe mid-30s, and he wanted a new phone. And I felt like he researched for like 6 months. and like smartphones weren't even like a thing yet, like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like he was just looking for a regular phone and like going through all these reviews, looking at all this stuff. I'm like, Mark, and then finally what happened he had to go up front at where he worked. He had to go up front, and his phone was ringing. So I went to answer it, and it broke in half. It was a flip phone, and it broke in half. And I found him. I'm like, Mark, and I had just 2 pieces. He goes, well, I guess I'm getting the phone now. So I was messing with him. I was like, I helped you finally make a decision.
Get to it. Yeah.
But I feel like there can just be, there's just so many reviews and so much information.
Oh, dude.
And you can find, like, if you want it to be a good thing, you could find that. And if you kind of in the back of your mind, like, I kind of really don't want this too expensive, you can also find reasons to not get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, all the time is you look and you're like, best Wi-Fi light or something like that. And you're like, okay, well, that's the one I saw on Amazon. Well, but it's number 2 on this list. But it's number 1 on this list.
Yeah.
But okay, let me find a different list. Depending on how far you go, like, is this person credible or is this some blog somewhere?
Do you have like, because I know when I first started this podcast, it was me and my buddy, and he was my like video game entertainment guy. And and when he said like, hey, this is gonna be a good game, like I took his word for it because I knew him. Do you have not necessarily somebody personal, but somebody online or somewhere you go where you like, I trust this person to like, I know what they're like, I've been following this person. They have a podcast or they have a YouTube page or whatever.
A lot of what I do is like the number of reviews. Like if you go on Amazon, it's like 5,000 reviews. It's all like, it's like 4.5. Like if you do the math, they're like, okay, well that's a lot of people saying this is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well and then check like recent views because like I don't want to buy something that's, oh, it was great, but that was like a year ago. And then you look at like the last 6 months, you're like, oh, this is trash. This is trash. They
changed the widget and now it's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would just like double check everything.
Yeah.
And it depends on like how much it is. Like if it's like $10, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
oh, sure.
We'll figure it out.
If it's broken, we'll buy it.
Yeah. But if it's like, $250, $300, or I'm like, okay, I should probably walk through this because otherwise I will hear about it and it doesn't work. Like I will absolutely do that.
Yeah. Yeah. What about if you go by reviews, are you ever, I always think about this, like, what if this company just has fake reviews?
Oh, I've thought about that.
Yeah.
But like if you get like 5,000, like that's a lot of work for somebody to do.
Yeah,
like 5,000. So like I always just like double check. And it's like same thing with the software thing. Like if you let a bunch of people make all these errors and see, then okay, yeah, it's good. But if it's like 18 reviews. You're like, nope. Not enough people.
Yeah, I always click on the like 1-star reviews just to see what they say.
Oh, yeah, same.
Because it also makes me laugh sometimes, like people just being really funny on there.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, I feel like if it's a really good review, they're just gonna hit stars and maybe say something. If it's a bad review, they're gonna say something.
They're like, we're laying in it.
It's like some people are like paragraphs of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah, they're so mad. Yeah. Like, they have nothing else better to do than just lay into this.
I'm just glad my dad doesn't know how the internet works. 'Cause he'd probably be one of those. Like, we're reviewing this thing. Like, Dad, you don't even know. Like, just let Mom buy it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I feel so bad because like I never put any reviews on anything, but I rely on that so much.
I know. You know what? I started doing that more because I want people to like review this because that's how people see it, right?
Yeah.
So then in my back of my mind, I was like, especially if they're asking for one, because sometimes like if I buy something at Home Depot, I'm not just gonna go and do it. But if I buy something from the smaller shop or something, and they like send an email or send a text message like, "Hey, review this thing" or whatever, I tend to do it. Or for whatever reason, like, and maybe it's with the possibility of getting free food, but like at restaurants and stuff, they'll like the server will ask you like, hey, check this, check the survey out. My name's so and so. Can you put that down or whatever? I don't know. I would just feel like you'd want to do it, but it's also it's not a pain in the ass, but it's like it's like my kids. I don't want to go turn that light off. Like I don't. I don't want to do this right now. You know?
Oh, I do it all the time. Whereas like even on eBay, like you buy stuff on eBay, like, hey, you didn't review this. You want to review this?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. What's my canned response?
Yeah.
Oop, yep, great.
Good job at this product.
Great buy. Nice shipping.
Great. Yes. That's everybody.
Because I think they like give you like canned responses now.
Oh, you can just click on them?
You'd be like, yeah, I want that one.
Okay.
Or he just pops up as default, and I'm like, yeah, use the default one. That's totally fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I'm sure they are too.
Right.
Yeah, just throw some stars next to it and you'll be all right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you always been into gadgets since you were little?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been kind of like technologically like looking ahead at stuff. Like, we had a computer when we were growing up, probably like started in 93. And I just like kind of play around with it and see what I could do. Like, what does this button do? What does this button do? And which is like, it's helped me like throughout my life, where it's just kind of like you jump in, you figure it out. Like, okay, file. What does file do? You know, file's always going to do this, this, and this. What's edit do? It's your undo, your redo, you know, stuff like that. Or just keep clicking buttons till it like breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, well, how do I fix that? Yeah. it's this never ending thing. So like, you know, I've always been like the tech guy in the family, and just kind of like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? And I remember getting like the USB cable for the first time.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this? Like, this doesn't even have any pins. Where is this supposed to go?
Yeah,
like, you know, and so it was like a scanner one time, and we got it like with like a gateway thing or something, and we were like, what is this cable? Like, I've never seen this before. And then just like figure it out.
You know, that happened to me recently. I bought headphones, and it said to try to it was a little case, and it had this little cord that came out to charge it, and I've never seen it before. At least I thought I've never seen it before. I'm like, what? And then of course the packaging or whatever, it was in a different language. I'm like, what is this? And how do you charge it? And I looked at it. I go, oh, it's just the if you look at a USB, it's just the like full side. It's not the empty side when you're sliding into something.
Yeah.
So it's just that. I'm like, oh, so it's just a USB. They didn't call it that though. They called it something else. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
So then I figured, I was like, oh, just plug it in your computer. But I looked at it and I panicked. I'm like, I just bought something I can't charge. Like I need something else.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm not the technology at all. Like I know my things. Like I know how to run all this stuff, right?
Yes.
But I still like I have to use Excel at work, but luckily all the stuff I have to use already has, like when I got to do a credit card reconciliation, everything,
It's
all
all
the formulas
pre-done.
are already in there.
Yeah.
I just got to put the numbers where I want them.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with like and I use Excel for something else too. I can't remember, but everything's just, I don't have to worry about it. And it's been that way for years. I can go back 5 years and see credit card purchases, all this stuff. Right. Yeah. So I can't I can't start with new. I asked Andrea. Andrea helps me with that. I made a logo. I made a new logo for the Dad podcast. And I was like, Andrea, I can't figure out. I have photo editing on my computer, and I just can't figure it out. She goes, just use Word. I go, Word? She goes, yeah, use Word. I use Word for everything. And if I didn't make a pretty good logo using Word, just from Andrea's help, like it was crazy.
Dang.
I just can't do that stuff. But once I figure out my stuff that I need, that I'm good.
Like, just use it.
Yeah,
like, you couldn't like troubleshoot it. Like, if
no,
it didn't work. I go, oh no.
Yeah. or like I erased one of the formulas in Excel, and I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know, but luckily I figured out, I was like, oh, I can just go to the next cell up, and it has the formula. I just got to put the numbers for the next row or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I figured it out, but I was panicking.
That's funny.
I'm like, why aren't there numbers adding themselves
this
up?
is not
right
working.
Now? Yes.
Why is it putting only what I wanted in there? No.
Yeah. I did not like it.
I was wondering because like I was gonna ask, like, are you one of those guys that they have to have all the locked cells, so like you can't screw it up?
Oh no. I don't even know how to do that. So
well, maybe they do, and you just don't know about it.
No,
like,
I messed it up. I messed it up.
I've already screwed it up.
I've always been outside. Like I've always done work outside, and then this past year I transitioned roles, and I'm a supervisor, so I could do more computer stuff. Even like figuring out my email. I've never used email so much in my life until this year. Yeah,
welcome to the world.
I have 2 phones I got to use. I have a personal phone and my work phone, and like I was telling Andrea, like I was like, Andrea, my email used to look like this. But now every email I get, even if it's in that chain, is like a brand new email. She's like, she's like, you don't like that? I go, I don't like it. She goes, oh, I like that. I said, no, I want it back like where everything's in one spot.
Chronological.
Yeah. So I can see everything. Not everything's its own email. So I still call her about stuff because I can't figure it out. It's sometimes still getting used to. But again, like once I figure my stuff out, I'm golden. Nice. When someone throws me something new, then I'm like, man, I've been outside for 15 years, man.
What is this computer thing?
Yeah. So do you have siblings? You talked about like being a technology guy in your family. I don't know. You have siblings?
Yeah. My brother, and then I have a half sister.
Where do you fall in line there?
I am in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I think I have more. I should look. I feel like I have more middle people on this podcast. Like whenever I ask that question, a lot of people are in the middle.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that is, but
that's crazy.
Yeah. Do you feel? And I always ask this question too. Do you ever feel forgotten?
No, because like my half sister didn't live with us growing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like technically like the oldest, like in that household.
Okay.
So then it was all on me, and then my brother, he was there too. And the thing is, like my brother's only like 2 years younger than me, So it's like we're like best friends. Like,
Okay.
We're on that level.
Okay.
So it was never like, oh my God. I mean, there was times where it's just like, this is my little brother. He's driving me nuts. Get him out of here.
But you're right. A 2-year age gap isn't that big a deal.
No, yeah. I mean, we were in high school for 2 years together. Everything's pretty like on the same level.
Yeah,
Like the same things, do all the same things, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Where'd you guys grow up?
Fostoria.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, so I had 2 experiences. My 6th grade teacher, I went to school in Toledo. She lived in Fostoria. And back when her kids went to school, God, this had to be mid-90s. I feel like they had a pretty good football team because she would talk about it because her kids played football.
Yep.
Her 2 sons. And then that's pretty much all I knew. And then as I got older, I noticed people don't like Fostoria as much or think it's this bad place or whatever, especially when we were going there to play this year.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't believe the people on Facebook like just trashing it.
I'm
like, what is it's like any other town. Like,
right.
Is there going to be bad stuff? Sure, there's bad stuff here in Perrysburg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Because I don't get on Facebook that much anymore. And my wife was telling me about it. And I'm like, it's just Fostoria. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, I grew up like a couple blocks from the stadium. Like,
There's a woman's like, because they're like, what should I expect? Or I heard it might be dangerous. And one woman's like, it's known for drug trafficking. I'm like, what? You can't just
go from
say
0
that.
to yes.
Yeah, like you don't know. Like I don't. It was to see. But the good thing is, there was those few people, but a majority of people are just like, hey, treat it like any other place you're going to go. There's good stuff, good parts, bad parts, whatever, good people, bad people.
Right.
If you're going to go for a football game, go for the game. You're not going to go anywhere else. If you want to get something to eat, there's a woman who like posted a laundry list of restaurants to go to and this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like overwhelmingly there was like positive stuff to say. But man, like right out the gate, that was the first comment was like, it's known for drug trafficking. Jesus. So are we. We can say that about anybody.
Yeah, it all depends on like, which end of the internet you're on. Like, you know what I mean? That whole thing.
So did you go to high school and stuff there then?
Yeah, Fostoria High School.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you play sports?
I was, let me clarify this, on the baseball team.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
because you are, I feel like you're, more than anything, you're a huge baseball fan.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. So, I never played organized baseball until my freshman year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was terrible. So,
well, how'd that happen? Like because I'm assuming every city, it could be a good, good league, bad league. They have some sort of league, right?
For we never got into it, and I was really into basketball, like growing up, like with Jordan the Bulls, like we're talking the 90s, basketball. So it was. I'm trying to think. It was within my freshman year, early on, like a couple of my friends that in school in band and stuff. Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, you should come out and play baseball." I'm like, "Okay." Sure, go play baseball. Yeah, that's what you do. You just catch it and throw it, and whatever.
With that, and you're doing it with the way you see it is, I guess I play baseball. I've probably done it. You've probably done it in your backyard. But it's your friends saying, "Hey, come out with us." And you're just gonna be out there with your buddies.
Yeah. And it was just you go play baseball. Yeah, that's what you do. So I mean, it was terrible, but like I had fun. Like I played through my junior year. I didn't play my senior year. I was just done. Yeah. But like by the time I was a junior, I could turn a double play. Yeah, like, I played second base, which probably wasn't the best thing to start off with. I should have been in right field.
Sure.
Like
I would hope. I mean, every coach thinks like, "Wow, we'll stick them in right field." Their parents don't know. Everybody knows. Right? That's where they would put.
Yeah, so I mean, I made my way to right field pretty quickly. You
showed your skills.
Oh yeah. They're like, "Yeah, why don't you play right field? Just stand out there, it'll be fine."
So but Fostoria freshman team, did they have like a lot of kids? Like, did you play a lot?
We had JV team. We just had a JV team and a senior and the varsity team. Okay, but I mean, we had probably 11 or 12. So
you probably got your fair share.
I get in the last couple innings, and get some plays in and whatever. But I had like a career 2 hits, and I think like one of them you could have probably been an error, but like I think they were just nice. Like, let's just give them the hit.
That was the home cooking the books
like,
right there.
Yeah. You're like, no, that was a hit.
Damn.
Yeah, but But now, like, I've like learned so much more about baseball, just been surrounded with it, and I can see more of it and do more of it.
Well, that's how we met, right? When with our sons played, I don't even know how old they were.
Like 2019, I think. I just saw like a photo the other day.
And their red jerseys?
Yeah, the red jerseys. Yeah, 2019.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it was, so what was that? What are we at now? Almost 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years in the spring then, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was Mateo's first time playing.
Yeah.
Besides, because was that real baseball then? Like they pitch?
I think that was the one where
if they walk, coaches come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So that's where we met, and then obviously this past year we coached again all our daughters now.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny because it's not like we signed up, right? To be like, hey, we're gonna coach together. It just happened that we coached our two oldest kids, and then we coached our two youngest kids.
Right. Yeah.
Do you find yourself like thinking like, okay, I was self-admittedly I was a horrible baseball player. How do I like? Or you also said you learned a lot. So is it easier to like tell your son like? It's easier for you because your son's not going to listen to you. Right. It's like most kids. It's easier for you to be like, try to give him some pointers because you know more now. Right?
Yeah. I try to like, okay, like I've watched this, I've known this, I've seen this. It's like, okay, you're not doing this right. You can start seeing stuff then.
Yeah.
And especially because you're not in it. Everybody's like, keep your elbow up, do this, do that. Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm doing that. Like, but you're not. Like, I tell my son that all the time. He's like, oh, you got to keep your elbow up, keep your head down. He's like, I am. Like, okay, but if you were, like, you wouldn't strike out. So, but then, like, he got on a new team this year, and his coach is like, no, keep your head down, this and that. Yeah. And then he's, like, hitting doubles and singles all over the place. Yeah. Like, hey, remember that thing I told you? Yeah.
He's telling you, too.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
If you'd have just listened to me, like, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that in being a coach, I'm sure it's happened to you, but that happens all the time where, and it doesn't even have to be about the sport. A parent can just come up to you and be like, hey, can you tell so-and-so that he needs to tie his shoes double lace? He'll listen to you, but he won't listen to me. You know, like just simple stuff. Or sometimes they'll just be like, hey, he's got to get this homework done. Can you talk to him about this homework? Whatever, because they don't listen. And I see it, now with my own kids. Mm-hmm. But it is a thing that you get a lot.
Yeah.
Because
because they're like, okay, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's the same thing with teachers, right? It's like a new person telling me what to do. I'm going to listen. I'm going to be really good, which that's what you want. You want your kids to act appropriately, right? Outside of the house, it's going to happen that they're not. Inside the house, but that's okay.
Right.
But it ends up okay,
Right. And then like, when I'm coaching like the kids, like it's like it doesn't work still.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit because you're like, no, I've told every single one of these other kids the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. You don't just like get to throw a tantrum about this. Nope, go do it.
My favorite thing too is when you walk on any field, any sport, anything, within I don't know, 20 minutes, you can figure out who the coach's kid is.
Yeah, right.
It's so it's so obvious.
There it is.
It's so obvious. Like, come on, hey, good job. Let's go. Hurry up. You're like, oh, that's right there. That's our kid, right?
Right.
It's so fun. It's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, we met coaching baseball, our sons. Is that something you knew, like, when you had a kid, like you knew, not just baseball, but you knew, like, I want to coach, assistant, head coach, whatever, but I want to coach. Did you always think that? Or?
No, I didn't. No? Like it crossed your mind, obviously, because it is what it is. Yeah. But I think it was like, I think my son was playing, God, well, how old was he? Not even, maybe it was kindergarten, maybe a little before that, playing basketball at the Y. Mm-hmm. And they're running practice, and it's just like some kid that works at the Y.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're going to go coach these like preschoolers. Like, go have fun.
You got your basketball class.
Do drills.
Yeah.
And like, I'm standing there and for some reason you stay for the whole practice, whatever. And there's these other, like, I don't know, early teens. They're just like start playing basketball on the half of the court. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, and then like the coach is just like, hey guys, don't play basketball there. And I'm like, dude. And then like they would laugh. And they came back again. I was like, nope. I was like, get off of here. These guys are trying to play at practice, this and that. So, and then it was like that moment. I'm like, okay, this ain't happening again. So then I signed up for I think I signed up for assistant coach the next year for basketball, and then I signed up. I did t-ball. I've done baseball. I've done all different stuff since then. Yeah. But it's just kind of I didn't want it to be where somebody's phoning it in. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's just no, if you're just gonna phone it in, I'll just do it myself.
Well, that, and if you're out there, we're gonna get stuff done, or whatever. Right?
Yeah. It's okay, this is how we can do this. We can go that way. So it's fun. I love it. Yeah. It's so rewarding. Just seeing the kids from early on, when you first get them at the beginning of the season, then to the end, it's
especially
awesome.
when they're really young.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, you hit it? Yeah. You're so excited.
Yeah. I remember one time I coached this basketball team, and it was a similar scenario where they didn't have a coach, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just coach. It's not a big deal. I'll probably be at all these practices anyway. And you have your wide range of ballers, shall we say? Yeah, ones that just nail it. Other kids that couldn't hit the broadside of the barn.
Just touched a basketball today.
Yeah. So throughout the whole season, everybody was getting their baskets and doing that, and then some of the other ones were the lesser players. They got a basket in the second to last game. Oh, and I was okay. So I did the math real quick. I'm okay, this one kid has not gotten a basket. So about halftime, I was whatever we do, we are going to get him a basket. Yeah. So make a pass, get him the ball. And sure enough, he got that basket. Yeah. And I was yes. I was so excited. Yeah. Oh man, it was my own kid. Where I'm yes, we did it. And he was excited too. And yeah, it's just a blast seeing them.
That's how it. Then you try because at some point you transition to everybody's getting a fair shot. If it's football, everyone's getting to run the ball or throw the ball or catch the ball. Basketball, same thing. All these things, and at some point there's a transition. We're okay, we're still trying to do that, but also win. Right. And that's for me. I felt this year for our softball, a lot of these girls, it's their first time playing actual softball where someone's pitching at them, right? Yeah. So you're trying to, everybody plays anyway, but you're also trying to manipulate the lineup a little bit, or who should I pitch, or this or that, or all these girls want to pitch and some can't make it to the plate, but you're trying to balance that, and that's it's a lot more difficult being in the middle, because coaching varsity football, you're playing the best guys. Yes, right? Exactly. Yeah. Coaching 5th and 6th grade, any sport, everyone plays. No one cares about the score. You know, some people do, but not for the majority. No one cares about the score. It's that middle is really difficult. Yeah. And now this coming spring and summer, I'm coaching travel 8U. The good thing about that is it's travel. We have 11 girls, 12 girls. I can't remember. I think 11. But all the parents know it's travel. Yeah. And yes, if they're 8U, everyone's still going to play. Everyone's going to bat, but these are going to be our pitchers. There's going to be certain girls that play first base, certain girls that do certain positions. And I even had to learn that. My assistant coach was hey, we don't have to rotate everybody. Yeah. We should we can win. Yes. We can put girls at certain spots and just keep them there. Yeah. So this middle's difficult.
Yeah. Well, I know you and I had text back and forth okay, here's this lineup. What do you think about this? Well, let's move him.
I felt so weird about it.
I know. We're trying to win the World Series or something. No, they've been hot. Pulling up stats and stuff like that. They've been about 300 for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that's what was good about you, Coach Brittany, and my sister is for me being the head coach, you guys, if I said something, you guys were pretty yeah, that's good, but also comfortable enough to be I don't think we should change that. Or the way Brittany coached too made me laugh so much, because I was kind of stern as I could be with these girls. First time I've coached an all girls team, right? So I was trying to figure that out, but she was just nope. No, you can't do that. But it was awesome. You got to have coaches that do that, and it worked perfectly. And the way we were able to mesh how we coached, and it worked out well. Obviously, not well enough for us to win, but well enough to beat that team that we played once, right? And that was for us, that was this is awesome. You know, and everyone knew that.
Yeah, but, we it was the most fun I've had coaching the whole time I've done it.
It was a lot of fun.
It was easy. It was smooth. We had fun. Yeah. And we won a lot of games.
Yeah.
Didn't win the final one, but whatever.
Yeah,
we
got there, and it was still fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a blast, man.
Yeah.
An absolute blast.
Yeah, it was fun. So are you coaching anything, like not now, but like within the year? Are you planning to coach in anything?
I don't know. I might coach softball again.
Okay.
We'll see. With my son in travel as well, like it's just kind of like you have to kind of divide and conquer and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of always plan on like, well, I just like won't sign up at first, and then like, oh hey, we need somebody. I'm like, all right,
if you're back
in.
Have you ever been the head coach of anything?
So technically, I was what was it? A couple times, but what I would do is I was like, just give me I'll do all the baseball stuff.
Yeah.
If you do all the management and time and doing all of that, like I can't even process that. Like, cause like, like when I'm working, like I'm like all in, like it's going to 4:30, and then to like be like, okay, well, is it raining out? Are the fields good? I gotta send the text to like 1 million people. I'm like, well, it's raining over here and wherever. Like, are we gonna still play? Like, I don't know yet. Like, so like I like try to stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind it. But I try to just like I just want to coach baseball or coach softball or something like that.
Yeah, that's how my dad was when he coached my baseball teams. Like he did baseball stuff on the field. Games, practice, all that stuff. Took kids home afterwards. My mom handled all the parents. She kept scorebook. Like she would do all that fundraising. So my dad didn't have to deal any of it. Like, she dealt with that, which it worked out good. They both liked that part of part of the job. Right? Yeah. So you, we'll go back to you in high school. When you were in high school, did you? Because kids think they know what they want to do. Sometimes they do know what they want to do, and I've had friends who knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they hit every mark along the way. And were you like that at all, or did you have any idea of like what you wanted to do after high school?
I had an idea. I was in like tech prep classes, so we were doing computer aided design, we were doing machining, we were doing a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
So there was like, I want to say it was like my sophomore year where I was like looking at like two different routes. I was looking at like engineering design or like construction management or something, or like just like a designer, but like is like graphic artist. But I'm colorblind, so being a graphic artist isn't super great. So
like how colorblind? Like
red green colorblind.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's not like everything's black and white. I'm like a dog, but like, but you know, I just like can't like distinguish stuff.
I had an uncle, or I have an uncle. He's still alive. We had this game. It had these balls in this like disc, and you had to like move them around to like match up all the colors. It was like a puzzle. Yeah. And I was like, hey, try this out, and he did it, and the orange and red were just all mixed up. He's like, yeah, I did it. I go, no, you didn't. The orange and the red. He goes, oh, I'm colorblind. That's when I found out. Like, okay, yeah. You know, you can be partially colorblind.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, so I kind of went with like the engineering type of design route.
Yeah.
And kind of went that way. So I went to Terra afterward. Got my associates for a CAD specialist, and then it was like 9 months later I got like a first job, and kind of went along from there.
Yeah.
So.
So was Terra the extent of your college?
Yeah. The whole idea, the whole plan was that like I was gonna like go to a job, and then they're gonna have like those work benefits and stuff like that, and go back to school, and just never did. Like I looked into it, like especially like when I got my first job, but after that, like I just I don't know, life happened. Like got married, got kids.
I mean, I worked at university. I could go to school for free, and I didn't go to school, so I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So, what do you? So, have you had several like engineering type jobs then along?
So, I've had like 3, let's call it big boy jobs.
Okay.
I first started out like low man on a totem pole at like the carbon factory in Fostoria. Mm-hmm. Worked in plant engineering there for almost 3 years, and then we moved up. I moved up here. Did a CAD designer for a mechanical contractor. Then left that job. Well, I got let go.
You got asked to leave.
Yes, yeah. In a good way. Like I had broken my foot, and at the time I was like the shop manager.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really like deliver pipe when you can't drive or stuff like that. So they let me go, but like, it was all cool and no problem.
I feel like there's a lawsuit in there somewhere. Like you're hurt, you can't work.
No. It was all. I mean, I was looking for a new job anyway.
Okay.
But then I was on the shelf for a while, and then I got my current job, and then I've been there since. So going on about 10 years now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
What do you do there?
Well, it's funny. It's so many things. My job title is senior project manager.
Okay.
I basically oversee like all of our design and development like departments. Mm-hmm. So I look over engineers, look over builders and stuff like that. But I've also like worked a little bit in IT. I've worked on the website. I've worked right now. Like my newest stuff is like doing marketing stuff. Okay, learning stuff like that.
Is it a smaller?
Yeah, we're a small company.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. It's Design Ethics over in Holland.
Okay,
next by the airport. So it's a small company. So you wear a bunch of hats, and people just ask me like, "Oh, can you do this?" Sure. Yeah.
Try it out.
Yeah, I've looked over the machine shop at one point. I've did programming for the machine shop. I can program robots. All sorts of different stuff.
So when you started there, was it just like this pipe dream? Like, here's this tiny company, or was it what it is now?
No,
way back when.
Well, when I started, they were 25 years into it.
Okay.
So they are pretty established, but just kind of taking the next step and looking at different stuff and CAD CAM stuff, which is like computer aided machining. Like they didn't really have anybody for that, so they're like, I was just like I've done it. It's been a while.
Yeah. Did you feel like I would imagine being a new person at a job and they're trying to like we're gonna try all these new things. I would imagine like you're thinking like, well, I'm gonna, even if I never done it, I can say I did it because I saw somebody do it.
Yeah,
right?
well,
you're trying to do everything.
I did CAD CAM in college.
Okay,
I took a couple courses like that, ran CNC machines and stuff like that. So like I'm familiar with it and I understand it. Yeah, and then like with the CAD stuff, like I knew it and that was cool. Like it was funny, they were asking like, "Can you work on the website?" And I'm like, "I've never done it, but I'll try." Yeah. Like just Google a bunch of stuff and so I like loosely learned like JavaScript and stuff like that. But and that's how I just been. I just like, what do you need? I'll go learn it. And we needed somebody to program a robot. Oh, they send me to robot training. Yeah, so I learn how to program a robot. It doesn't.
Go to robot training. Hey, sorry, honey, I'm going to be in Canada for robot training.
Yeah, so like I've done that. I've got all sorts of different other trainings that they've sent me to. I mean, it's a fantastic place to work. Like they've always let me to just kind of the sky's the ceiling really, and just like pick up on new stuff and like marketing. Like I have a good eye for detail, almost to a fault. Like it just everything has
like too much.
Yeah, like symmetrical. Everything is like very lines and stuff like that. Yeah. So little stuff like that bothers me.
Just not the color of stuff.
No. Well, I got programs for that now.
So you just gotta hope that it's
yeah. No, I have like an app like on my. I actually have an app on my phone that like tells me colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
What I would imagine you use that more at work than anywhere else, right?
For the most part, like what when they're like, "Oh, I need a red." I'm like, what exactly red do you need? Yeah. Like, give me the numbers, because like, because you can do like a RGB, which is like based on those values is what color you get.
Got it.
I was like, give me that code, because I am not going to be able to match that up. and I've done that. Like I've sent stuff on, and they're like, hey, so a couple of these are good. What were you trying to hear? Like, oh, it's blue, right? Like, no, that's purple. Okay, we got the green right though, right? Well, no, it's more like an olive green. I'm like, oh, okay.
And they just be like, someone gave me the wrong code. I'll fix it.
But like everybody at work knows it.
Yeah,
and it's something else because everybody knows it, and so they just make fun of me for it. Like,
I imagine they like mess with you too. You're like, oh yeah, tell Mark the it's the R1490. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's all the time, Yeah.
What's so you do all these things. What's your favorite part of your job? Like what do you like to do the most?
I just like the change, the difference. Like my brain's always like moving along.
I like that kind of stuff too. Like I can't do monotony. Yeah.
It's terrible. I can't do that. But just the okay, I'm gonna go to this thing, go to this thing, go to this thing, and like that's what keeps my brain like moving. Like if I'm working on a project for like 4 hours or something, like I'm just done. Like I can't do it. I like the change and the movement and doing all the different stuff. But if I'm like focused on one thing, I get bored.
Yeah. I think that's why I like the parks too. Is there's always something going on, or there's a problem here, and I got to go talk to somebody, or help a renter, or a tree fell down, or there's a washout on one of our trails. Like there's always something new. Now the only change now is I'll jump in on some of that stuff, but now it's like, hey, I just called someone. Hey, can you go get this? Just got a call about it. Hey, I got to meet this person. I was supposed to go over here. Can you go do this for me? Like. There's a lot more of that where I have to delegate.
Yeah.
Which is good. But like I want to be in the position I am, but I'm less in the field than I'm used to.
Yeah. Does that bother you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I try to get out as much as I can. And also I try to get out because not that I'm some like, oh, the boss is out helping us, but I want them to see like I'm out there too.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
I make a point to try to do some of that. So it is a little more difficult, but I also like meetings. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah.
I love meetings. Like I also like talking to people. So that's part of meetings.
That's probably why.
Right? Yeah. So I like going to meetings. Yeah. I like going to meetings. I even like, we have a supervisor meeting, which is all the supervisors, park supervisors, our bosses, and then our chief of operations, and then rangers and stuff are in there too. So I started another supervisor meeting, which is just the supervisors, so we're all the same level, which I found, and everyone else has found very helpful, because not that we can't talk about certain stuff in front of our bosses,
right.
but I feel like people are more open, and then we can come as a team and be like, hey, we had our meeting. And then we go to the other supervisor meeting, the big one. Like we had our meeting, and this is what we came up with. Yeah. So it's not like one person saying, "This is how I feel."
Well, and then as a group, like you can like say, like, okay, we've all talked about this. Yeah. We've come to this, and like we're gonna back this. Yeah. Like, and that's awesome.
Although it did happen one time about some processes and stuff we were doing. We talked about it, and then we went to the main meeting, and we brought it up. I brought it up. And my boss and our chief operations like, well, like we glad you talked about it, but you had the chance to talk about this 6 weeks ago, and everyone through email said, yeah, we're all good. And I made a point like, it's because a lot of times when things like that happen, especially through email, some people respond with what we think you want to hear. Yeah. And now is that he said, well, I feel like everyone should probably have a better relationship with their supervisor. I said, I understand and I agree with you, but it's not always going to be that way because you're still up here above us, right? So it's a little different. Yeah. So what I've learned is my role in those meetings is people, and it might be a little bit, I just think this, but I'm so outspoken, like people tend to like, well, what's Lorenzo going to say about this? Yeah. Which I like that. There was a time where I was going to bring something up that was like it could have got heated possibly. And Andrew was like, well, why do you got to say something? I was like, because people expect me to say something. Yeah. So I talked to a few people beforehand, like this is what I'm going to say, just so you know. It still didn't make people like say, yeah, we agree with Lorenzo. I was kind of on my own a little bit. But I also, it helped me get to where I'm at. Right. Anyway, right?
Yeah. I think people like gravitate to the lack of better terms, loudmouth of the room. And it's not saying like yeah. It's just like yeah, this guy wants to stand up for it. Like I think you're probably like a naturally born leader. So like people just kind of like, okay, yeah. Sounds like an awesome idea. Yeah. Let's go with that. You know?
And it's definitely something I've learned to do, because if you were to say, hey, 17-year-old Lorenzo, you're going to be in charge of a park, and probably one of the biggest parks in the country when it's all done in 5 years, and you're going to be leading this team, and you're going to be head of this, head of that. I'm like, no, go fuck yourself. Because I didn't want to talk to anybody when I was that age. Like I was totally the other way. Just tell me what to do. I'll keep my head down, and it's just something. And I'll give credit to Coach Kriegel when he said, "Hey, he asked me if I want to be the freshman head football coach," and I've never thought of like I want to be a head of anything.
Yeah.
So I did it, and that's when I found out like, oh yeah,
that's when it like triggered for you.
Yeah, this is what I want to be in charge of whatever it is I'm doing. This is what
interesting.
I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always like really shy, like in high school and stuff. Like I didn't want to like step up. I was always like, I'm not like the back of the room class, like not that kid, but like I was always just like, nah, I'm good. Like like get my A's and B's and I'll be fine.
When you were in class and there was like the teacher asked a question and it was silent, were you one to be like, I'll break it and I'll answer the question?
Yeah, at a certain point, I'm like, I got this.
I hate that. My friends would make fun of me in English class because my English teacher would do it, and no one would. And in my head, I'm like, guys, it's so much easier if you just answer the question. So I was always answering questions, and people would look at me. I was like, in my head, I'm like, someone just got to talk. I'm not going to say silence because some teachers like will say, I'll just sit here in silence.
Yep. Yeah, I'm that way in meetings now, where like we're like, hey, anybody else got anything else? And I'm like, I like 5 other things I want to do, and I'm like. And it's like like anybody else, anything else? And I'm like, nope. Like I'm speaking for myself. Like if anybody else has, here's your opportunity. But I'm out. Like I gotta go. I got other things to do, man.
That's so good. Yeah, because it's always one of those like because I think if you say nope, then it opens the door for everyone to be like, no, we're good. So,
we're all fine.
But if it's silent and then that one person's like, actually, I got 47
questions. Yeah, you're like, no, what are you doing? We were all this close to getting out of here. Come on, man.
I can't sit on the Zoom any longer. Yeah.
It's the worst. I can't do it. And I'm not one. So like, I'm not like if I sit in the elevator, like I can be totally quiet.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to anybody. Yeah. But in the middle of a meeting, like we're just sitting there dead silence. I'm like. What are we doing?
Yeah,
like, let's roll.
Okay, we're either if we're gonna be quiet, then we're done with this meeting.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like let's roll.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I did hear this comedian talk about when he would walk in the elevator because everyone walks in and turns around, faces the doors you just came in, and this guy said, "I like to go in elevators and just face everyone and just say." You're probably wondering why I brought you here today. But it is like if someone were to start talking, like, or even not even talking, just standing, facing people, like, what is this psycho doing?
Yes. Yeah. Like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
And I think everybody would be like really alarmed, like, what's about to happen?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Is he trying to light a shoe right now?
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
Right.
But there's all these norms, and if you do one little thing wrong, and people will freak out about it.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to fall in line with things.
Yeah. You ever seen that stuff like where it's like brain games? I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
But like where it's amazing how people just like follow people. Like just like we were voting. It was on voting day, and the line going into the gym somehow went like. It was here, but then like the door's here, and the line goes like curves out like this, and it hooks in. But then the people, when you're done, you have to like cut through this line.
Oh,
we're following this, and like 10 people just following this. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
like nobody's telling you to do this. Like stay along the wall, and then these guys can just cross. So my wife and I just fixed the line.
Yeah.
We just stayed true with it.
Well, and a lot of those times you don't have to say anything.
Right.
Because they follow people without words, then they'll follow people again without words.
It's amazing. And guess what? Once we fixed the line, it stayed like that.
Yeah.
Like when we were gone, the line was still the same way.
Like we did that.
Like, yes.
Give me an
you are
extra
all welcome.
I wish people, speaking of lines, I wish people would figure out when you have to merge in traffic.
Dude.
You don't have to be in one line 4 miles back. You can also use both lanes.
That bridge is ridiculous.
I don't go over it ever. I used to go over it every day for work, but now I never.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
But you use it every day, don't you?
So not every day, because I go out and around like they want you to do. Yeah, 475. Yeah. But like my son he would play at the rec center.
Oh yeah.
And like have practice there like a couple times a week. So you'd have to go across the bridge because going 475 to get to the rec center is just freaking stupid.
Yeah.
So we'd get there and I'm like, what the hell is going on? and I pulled up to it and it's like back to the tracks.
Yeah.
Like there, and I'm like, what are we doing? So get in this lane, like the right lane. And like, okay, get all the way to that light. Okay, go to the next one. Like, why is this lane all the way open?
Yeah.
Like, let's fill this up, guys. Like, and then zipper. Like,
yes, zipper. Yeah.
My Lord.
I love zipper. So I learned a long time ago, my dad taught me this and I've told Andrea, I was like, she's like, you're really close to that car when you're trying to merge. I go, Andrea, nobody wants their car to get hit.
Right.
So they're going to let me in.
Yeah.
And my dad, I remember the story. We were in Cleveland to watch a baseball game. We're pulling out. I'll go back to that story because that's where it comes into. We're in Mexico. Big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
So we're in Mexico when I was little. We crossed the border to go shopping with my grandma and my mom. And my dad's driving, and this guy yells at my dad in Spanish. And I asked my dad, I was like, what'd he say? He said, if I don't let him in, he's going to hit us with his car. And these guys were pushing a car. Like, it wasn't even on. They were pushing it in traffic. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, so I'll let him in. So then go back to Cleveland. Every time we leave Cleveland, there's so much traffic. He goes, I'm just going to have to pull to Mexico. And just just go. So whenever we're trying to go somewhere, we just that's what we say. Because that's what it reminds us, like, you just got to go, man.
Yeah.
People aren't, if they're not going 50 miles an hour, if they're going 2, they're going to stop. They're not going to.
Oh, yeah.
So, also, I'm pretty an aggressive driver. Which Andrea doesn't like.
Same.
Yeah.
My wife
had so much fun.
We were just talking about this the other day, where I'm a very offensive driver. She's a very defensive driver.
Oh yeah.
Like if we talk football, like I'm running the air raid, and she's running a prevent defense, not blitzing, just everybody's spying and just doing all this stuff, and I'm just
everybody
in
front of us. Yeah, I'm trying. Every time I'm driving, I'm trying to win something. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying.
Yeah, I use a GPS every day. Like, I use Waze to go to work.
Yeah,
and it's like the time is like 7:05 or whatever. I'm like, that's my time to beat. Like, I could shave 2 minutes off.
I do that all the time on long trips. Like, hey, it said, hey, Andrew, if we stop, we can stop, but just realize I've shaved 7 minutes since we started.
Cannot be any more than 7 minutes. Like, I can't make this more up. Like,
I have, on my way to work, I have to go through the east side, and there's like 2 ways to get to Navarre Avenue. And when I go, I always see, I was like, all right, that car went this way. I'm going this way. I'm going to see if we meet up.
Oh, yeah.
At
I do it all the time.
And it's so ridiculous because 9 times out of 10, I never see that car. So they could be ahead of me or way behind me. Yeah. But I don't know. But I always think that in my head.
Yeah, I'm racing people. Yeah, this is like Mario Kart. Like if I had bananas, you'd be getting bananas. Like it's so gonna happen.
It's so bad. But I mean, it's gotten me in trouble. I've not car accidents, but Andrea gets upset when I'm like weaving and stuff. Yeah. So I got to know like who's in there with you. Or sometimes I will like yell stuff at drivers. Yeah. And then I get home and there was one time, this was in a parking lot. I was backing up and we have a backup camera. Mm-hmm. And I was getting real close to this car and this old lady kept beeping at me. And finally, like I park and I get out. I go, I have a backup camera. I'm not going to hit you. And like we're yelling at each other, whatever. And then like that night at dinner, Lillian's like, Dad yelled at a lady today. Angel's like, what is that? So I explained the story or whatever. I didn't even like, say anything bad. I just raised my voice. You know?
Yeah.
Can't get away with it. Oh, all right, Mark. Well, it's been an hour. Yeah. I don't want to keep you anymore. Plus, I haven't eaten dinner yet. My stomach's growling.
Dang, dude.
I really appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to have you come back on. We didn't even talk. I mean, in the summer we talked about you coming on and talking about sports. We didn't even talk about sports really.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have you come on again. But this is awesome, man. I really appreciate you again. Super short notice.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks everybody for checking out this episode of the Nerd Ball Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're hearing this on any of the podcatchers on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We're coming at you 2 times a week now, audio and video. Check us out on all the social medias. Just search the Nerd Ball Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're out there. Gmail is the nerdballpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to shoot us an email, we'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttlefish Graphics, Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab, and Big Daddy Graphics for helping out the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.